Wellness and Wonder for another episode with the beautiful Maddie. What is about today? Today is about a coaching platform. Being able to be our own coaches in our everyday life is never so easy. So to be guided along our journey with a mentor or a trustable person or a business coach in this case is not only a good idea, it's fundamental because our life is one and we have to make the best of it. And of course, we're going to go through this topic deeply, understanding what's the value of our own work and our own money and how to make money being guided. So let's discover more about business coaching and mentoring with Otto, founded by Maddie. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Francesca. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so nice to see you here. So, dear Maddie, let us know, first of all, a bit of your background, because before starting this amazing project, you've been working on many other things. So tell us a bit.
Yeah, so excited to be here. A bit about my background. So I started for 6 years in asset management, so very much on the front line of building digital products to help people manage their money. What's really interesting about that is how hard people found it. It's immensely complex. There's a lot of and there wasn't that much I could do to help because it's such a constrained world. What I did then in my spare time is I set up an investment club for my friends. So really helping, and they were all female, helping especially females like understand the basics of investing, of finance in a very personable way, and then kind of going on the investment journey together. I then did an MBA and a stint in consulting, but always felt this passion for like, why are people not investing? Why are people not maximizing the money they have? Why are people not like feeling really connected to their finances? Because your finances enable you to live the life that you want to live. It's like the ultimate lifestyle kind of brand or goal, but there's something about it that just feels really abstract, that feels scary, that you just don't connect with. And so that's why I founded Otto. And the whole principle behind Otto is Otto is meant to be the home of your finances.
Yeah.
And we use financial coaches, we use real people to help give that personable connection to your finances, to help make you think, wow, actually this is really important. Like I dream of retiring to Barbados. Well, okay, you got to get going on that now. And so that's kind of how I came about founding Otto.
Amazing. And also the name means something very special. What does it mean, Otto?
Well, it means a few things actually. So I have a co-founder and his dog is called Otto. So that's how we got it into our mind. But it also it means infinity as well. And then in kind of like an old German language, it means like old German, it means prosperity and wealth.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a lot of reasons why that name really resonated with us. And I think it really makes the statement of like what a fresh kind of approach that we have to finance.
Exactly. And those cycles that goes
exactly because nobody's ever like, it's a bit like physical health. You're never like, okay, I'm done now, I can sit on the sofa for the rest of my life. You constantly have to work on your financial health.
Amazing. And let's talk about this, because of course money are very important, but money have to be seen as energy. So many people are able to make money, it's true, but then what about their mental health? So many people need this kind of help that you created using this amazing platform, Maddie. I'm very proud of you because people see money as often as an instrument, of course, to make to product things, to make productions and to create many things. But what about the energy behind the money? So sometimes I believe these coaching programs you give to people are about also learning people that money and energy, and we should also invest in ourselves. So investing in ourselves is so important as making money. What do you think about that?
I completely agree. And I think what's a really interesting kind of like illustration of that is the fact that no matter how much money you make, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
We see clients who are earning tons of money and they still spend more than they earn every month. And it's something like, if you continually have the goal of making more money, you'll never reach the state of fulfillment. What you need to work out, and what also helps you to work out, is like, what do you really want from your life? What really makes you happy and drives you to have energy and fulfillment? And then like, what do you need to support that? And that's the way I think the mindset shift. It's not about being rich. It's about being fulfilled.
So beautiful what you said, and we all agree here. So the spiritual part of your amazing project, which is about, of course, learning people how to do proper business, it's very spiritual. So let's not focus only on the business part of it, so on the details and logistic of it. There is an important part of this amazing platform that is about supporting people for their dreams. So not only helping them making money, because let's be serious, it's not as difficult making money in today's world. What is difficult is to add a value, which is totally different. So with your coaches, what can we expect? What do they give to your clients?
Yeah, so the coaches, first of all, will listen to any worries that you have. They provide this very safe space where you can talk about your finances and like what you want from life, because that's often taboo. Like, it's very rare that you feel comfortable with your friends to be completely honest about your finances. And then they're probe in and they say, okay, why do you want that? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, I want to buy a house. Okay, why do you want that? Or, oh, I want to buy a buy-to-let house, or I want to get into crypto. And it's like, why? And it's actually, sometimes there's different things that you should do to get to the objective that you want. So they really delve into like looking at the reasons that you want things, and then working out, is there a better path that you can take, and then working out how you can take that path.
Amazing. And I'm very curious about the clients that are reaching you. I can see that the platform is going super well, but of course we are very happy to promote it anyway, because many people don't know yet about it. So how do you reach your clients? How do they reach you? So most of the time, do they come from a creative field, or do they come from a business-oriented kind of mindset?
Yeah, so we help people in two different ways. One is your company can say, hey, also help us improve our employees' financial health.
Yeah.
And then we'll come to you through your company and it's an employee benefit, and provide lots of events and coaching through that. Or if you want to come to us individually, you can just go to ottofinance.io and you can sign up to the platform. All of our educational stuff, our dashboard, our task tracking, all of that is free. Like, our mission here is to democratize access to financial health, and that's something we feel very, very strongly with. And then if you like the platform, you like our style, we can connect you with your very own financial coach, who is a real life, super qualified person who's very friendly, not scary to chat with. And then you can get coaching sessions with your coach, and you can also message your coach whenever you want.
Amazing, Maddie. And where do they come from, these coaches? Because of course, this platform is meant to recruit coaches, business coaches, but also clients that are in need of help. So where do you find the amazing coaches? Do they contact you, or do you also do your research to select them properly?
Yeah, both now. Like, for me, I'm very clear on who I want coaching people. Like, they have to have the financial knowledge. I want to be able to trust the coaches. So all of our coaches are qualified financial advisors. They've been in the industry for 10 plus years. They have all the certification, like they've worked for amazing brands. So you can really, and when you talk to them, you really get the sense that they are passionate about the area and they know the subject well. But also a lot of coaches, all of our coaches in fact, have trained specifically in coaching, specifically in helping people. We make sure there's the Otto way, which is about being personable and not using scary jargon, and becoming a partner. And that's what's important. You need both. You need the raw subject knowledge of finances, and then you also need that soft skills, the way that you can really build a connection. Because imagine having somebody that you can literally message, be like, hey, this has happened, what do you think? I mean, it's this amazing asset, and we have to have the right people to do that.
Amazing, Maddie. And how do you think do they match their experience and interest? Like, coaches can be also spiritual, as we said, and they are not only based on a business level kind of approach and support. So how do they help matching this experience with interest for people? What do you think, Maddie?
Yeah, so what I do when we have a new coach is I ask them to write a bit about themselves. And this gives a real flavor of like the type of person that they're best able to help. Are they better the person that's at the beginning of their career, like want to set up like their finances to, provide them like the long-term structure they need, or are they better at crisis points in people's lives? Or I think it's like a mindset thing. It's also like the background. We try and match people of similar backgrounds, similar ages, genders, that kind of thing. Anything that can really break down those barriers to sharing and trust. I think is really important. And it's interesting you bring this up. We get so much feedback from our users saying like, wow, I loved working with my coach X, Sarah, let's say. She really understood me, and like I felt like I could trust her. And you're right, it is about like an energy as well. Anything to do with people, it has to
Yeah.
have that kind of like intrinsic feeling when you get on the call with somebody, you're like, I want to talk to you, like I trust you, I value you.
It's so true, and that's the beautiful part of this connection we make with these coaches, is the connection of trust. We always say this, and as soon as
Massively.
we trust others, we can trust ourselves too. So it's an exchange of energy, like you just said, Maddie, that is so incredibly powerful and important.
Yeah, we I had a really nice I always reach out to our users, right, to get their feedback and understand like how we can improve. And I had this call, this guy, he's amazing, and he said, I just love my coach. I feel like we are from like very similar backgrounds, we understand each other, I can be honest. And he actually worked with his coach to help structure his goals and then say, okay, so for my next pay kind of like review, I need this kind of tweak to my salary, not just pay rise, but like a mix of bonus and stock, so I can get whatever goal I want to. I think it's buying a house, because you know with mortgage it can be complicated about like how you structure like your income. And then he used that, the coach mentored him as well into how to like say this in a way that was compelling and structured and logical. And so he worked with the coach on that, and then he went to his manager and he managed to negotiate this for his pay like review.
Yeah.
And now he's reached his goal. So like it's not even, like I said, it's not about necessarily about making more money and getting richer. It's about like how can you like work with somebody that you trust to like give you an objective view and like a restructuring and mentorship on to get what you want. And I thought that was amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. And it's so personal. So I believe how much work there is behind, because every person is different. So you kind of have to read the energy of the person, like we said. So for sure, any business coach for me is also a spiritual coach, because you cannot have this drive within of helping others if you're not spiritually connected to the beauty of this job. It's amazing. And would you tell us, Maddie, which kind of practices do they use? Of course, must be hidden because it's very personal, but can you let us know about any practice they do about coaching business-wise?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is about, I've kind of touched on this before. I wouldn't say there's like a particular like methodology,
Yeah,
but it's with finance, it's all about this dynamic between being understandable and relatable and not having all the scary language and restrictions that you often see in finance. And there's a balance between that and then also having the trust element.
Bellissimo. So they make it easy while it appears so difficult.
They make it easy, but they make it a place where you can speak really freely. You don't have to worry about being judged, but they also have this like authority within themselves due to the knowledge that they have, the experience that they have, where you really trust their opinion, and you trust that the half an hour you invest talking with them is gonna reap rewards to you.
Yeah, and why people are so stubborn sometimes, you think, Maddie, that then instead of asking for help, they think they're able to solve all their problems and they end up in depression or in a crisis. So which message can we give to people having fears of asking for support, maybe because of their ego or maybe because of their lack of knowledge about these platforms? What's the message you would give to people?
I think it's really important to allow yourself to be like vulnerable and to ask questions, because the more you ask, the unknown unknowns become answered, or at least they surface and they become known unknowns. And once something is a known unknown, that's when you can like truly like work it out. And also with money, like we said before, like it's never done. There's always something new. There's a new problem in the world. There's a new financial product like NFTs to get your head around. You're at a new stage of life. You have a new goal. And I think it's like with anything in life, the more that you mix with people, that you talk to people, the more kind of like the stress can come off you and the more you can learn. And also you can talk about money without being vulgar and without divulging too much about your personal circumstance. you don't have to mention absolute numbers.
Yeah.
You can talk about it a bit more in a kind of abstract, structured way where you can still share, but you're not saying I have this much money, which is what people very fairly don't want to do.
Exactly, beautiful. And also is a way of understanding how to make money, enjoying our life, because most of the people maybe are working too much. That's also an example. Don't work too much and be unhappy to have so much money, because then your life is over. And then what are you going to do with all this money? So if we start thinking of money as energy, as I'm sure you think the same, Maddie, we can start thinking of enjoying the money we have, not thinking of things we don't have, and investing in things that are very productive, giving us happiness, not only money.
Completely. And there's this stat, I think it's like, and once you get to an income of like, it's either 80 or 90,000 pounds per year, you incrementally don't get happier with the more money you earn.
Yeah.
Like that is the amount that you need to be able to like be fulfilled and to be happy, and chasing money after that, like the return on your time and your effort is so much lower.
Yes. And how many cases do you have of people really unhappy with their actual jobs? Do they come to you to find new opportunities, mental opportunities, to have more vision and to talk and discuss things through? Or do they come because they're truly unhappy within their situation and they want to start from zero? I can imagine it's both. But
Yeah, I guess because we are focused on financial coaching, and I think what people often come is like, okay, I want to find a way either to retire earlier or to generate another revenue stream, so a buy-to-let house or something like that. And that's when the coaches really dig in and say, okay, why is that? Like, what else can you do? And what we found is that just giving somebody the mental space to speak, even with a one-off session, the impact that they has is it spurs them into action a bit. So I think it's a good way to like almost like bring that attention to yourself of what you need, and kind of rally you to make a change.
Basically, you bring people to do this inner work while being supported. We all need to do this, even in a love scene, in a friendship scene, in work scene, everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's because like everybody's so busy now. I believe a lot in like having mental capacity. It's not just your time capacity, it's your mental capacity. And so by creating a 30-minute space where you give yourself mental capacity to think about something, you often work through the own problems yourself as well. It brings you some clarity, and that in itself is really valuable.
Exactly. So would you say that this business help approach the gift to people, it's about launch and grow, or there is so much more into that?
About how people use and benefit from Otto.
Yeah.
The way I see it is a bit like your physical health. Like sometimes you're feeling really well, right? You might want to go for a biannual checkup, and there's a few things you could tweak, like doing more steps per day, and you it's a bit more of a hands-off approach, like continue doing what you are, and it's also like a thing, a space to say you're actually doing really well, so well done. And it's like that. And then there's also times in your life, maybe you break your leg, or the equivalent is like, you get into debt, or you want to buy a house, and that's when you need a bit more intensive time with a coach. And so what's really nice about Otto is like you can flex up and flex down. So you can either have these biannual check-ins to make sure all is okay, or you can have these intensive bi-weekly meetings with your coach because you've really got something that you want to work through.
Amazing. I can see that you mentioned the house very often. I can imagine there are many people that want to invest in a home, but sometimes maybe people cannot afford it. And would you say that the ideal thing to make them understand it's home is where love is, just to be very spiritual though? Would you say this is also a help they would give to people? Like, of course, they can help them growing their money to reach their dreams of buying a house, but they also can let them understand that home and safety is also within us and with people we love.
I completely agree. We actually are building some content on should I rent or buy a house, because like you said, you can get what you need from renting a house maybe, and you can actually make more money by investing in other ways. Like there's this, especially in the UK, this big culture for buying a house, and like house price growth is like very turbulent. it's not like our parents where they're going to guarantee to make tons of money. You can make just as much money in the stock market. You know, why should you buy a house if the only thing you can afford doesn't bring you joy and happiness, when you could rent a house, make that your home, and invest your money in other ways? And again, like, it's what we're trying to do, is give people the space so they can really think what they want and therefore work out what to do, not being like, okay, well, I'm in my late 20s, I need to buy a house because that's what's considered to make me a successful, stable person. No, it's not. What makes you really happy? Maybe you want to buy a house in a different country and rent it out and visit there every summer. Whatever you want to like bring you the joy, and then let's like optimize your finances so you can reach those goals.
Exactly, I love it. So which kind of measurable results have you seen so far while your coaches were helping your clients in achievements? Which kind of results have you seen till now, dear Mandy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, like I was saying. So we have that example I gave you earlier of the guy who's renegotiated his salary package. We have a lot of people that have finally done the stuff that you want to do, you know, like sort out your pensions or like set up your ISA. I think the way that I see like the results of Otto is how many people recommend Otto to their friends. Like, to me, that's the ultimate, right? If you say, I've just done this thing, it's amazing, you've got to try it. Especially with something like finances, where you don't want to give a bad recommendation.
Exactly.
And that's really interesting. So for example, one of the reasons we launched our website, our direct to consumer part of the business so quickly, is we had so many people who are using it, whose employers got Otto on their behalf, who are saying, oh, my boyfriend, my friend, my mom, whoever needs Otto, please can you open it up?
Amazing. And of course, let's not give the responsibility only to coaches, about our intentions too, as of course coaches, they do play a role in pointing out the opportunities we have, but also clients cannot of course blame them for a bad strategic point of view if they don't work with their own intentions at the same time. So it's about the one-on-one connection. It's not only about the coach telling you what to do as a strategic point of view, is also about you having this intention of changing things and acting upon them.
Completely. It's interesting you say about that one-to-one. So now we're also looking at doing like one to like a few people. Because what we found is some of the sessions where you have like one coach and maybe 6 other people, is that it gets this really interesting discussion going where people share what they've done and their experiences and their learning, and it breaks down a lot of walls and it makes everything look achievable and personable and real. And it's a nice element of coaching where like obviously the coach is guiding this conversation, but a lot of the learning is coming from peers.
Amazing. Amazing. And where do they come from, your coaches? Do they come from all over the world? Because I suppose they can also work remotely online. So where are they based, most of them? Because there are many coaches that already want to be part of your platform that I know, business coaches. So let's give them information.
Yeah. So in general, we have coaches that serve their own country in general, just because obviously financial kind of like setup is different in each country, and there's a lot of nuances that I think it's important that your coach should know. They should understand like the little things about your region, your country. However, we do have some coaches where we can make it like very agnostic. So if people are coaching, like we have crypto coaches, NFT coaches, metaverse coaches, alternative asset coaches, you know, where it's much more like agnostic to location. In that case, we're very, very flexible about where they're from. And we're rapidly growing internationally. We're now in the US, we're in Brazil, and we're in Europe. So like anybody in any of those places, please reach out to me if you're interested.
Yes, absolutely. It's about connections for a purpose. There is nothing better to this. So I'm very curious about how do they help people in the blockchain world, because it's very risky as a job and it can be very addictive, but at the same time, I would say it's a way of making money while focusing on our passions. So it is incredible the power this new market has. And philosophically, I totally agree with it, because it's decentralized, is against all the system that is basically manipulating us, but at the same time, it's very risky. So actually, to be guided is not important, more than important, because otherwise we risk it all. So Maddie, amazing. What do you think about the NFT?
I say there's some parts of me that like NFTs. I like that it's a bit more tangible, it's a bit less abstract, and you can be more creative. I think it's a great way that people can touch with crypto and blockchain. For me, though, and actually what's interesting is that of all these kind of like newer, of like the crypto world, there's the most amount of female investors and creators in NFTs compared to crypto, which tends to be very, very male dominated. However, my frustration around this is, people think they're going to get rich doing NFTs. 99% of NFTs are unsold. All you hear about is the 1% that blow up and do super well. The reason these do well is because you have people that are like, their full jobs is to create the NFT, to create the brand around it, the community around it. It's not a quick win. It's a lot of work, and it's high risk that the time you get back on that work that you're going to make that back up. Also, it's still a very male dominated place. It's like 70% of NFTs are created by men. And in fact, if you look at them as a female, to me, they don't appeal to me at all. That it does feel like a boys' club. And there's a lot of misogyny as well. Like a lot of the NFT, there was an NFT brand, that NFT collection that the founders, the owners, the creators pretended to be female, and it was all branded around being female created NFTs, and they were 3 guys.
I can't believe it.
It's a cowboy. It's the Wild West out there, and so I think it's great to understand. It's great to dabble. If you want to, if you've got an idea, you want to create it, great. If you want to invest in something that you really believe in and do tons of research, great. But it is very close to gambling. A general rule of thumb is 5% of your wealth. You should invest no more than 5% of your investable assets into crypto and NFTs. And I think that's a great place. What I encourage people to do is the energy and the passion that they have for crypto and NFTs, use that to understand the basics of investing, the principle of risk and return, diversification, portfolio theory, and use that also to invest in stocks and funds and ETFs, and think of it as like a portfolio that you have, of which NFTs and crypto are a part of that.
Yeah, totally. It is the future, and we need to be part of it in a healthy way. So what you said about this digital world is very interesting, because of course there are many fake news and people pretending to be other people. So there is so much freedom within the digital world, but at the same time it's also important to know what's real and what's not to get disappointed. So being guided in those cases through this platform is an amazing idea. Dear friends, Otto is the place where to achieve and where to discover your potential. So, dear Maddie, would you like to say the last thing to our guests, since I'm going to publish this amazing interview soon, so we can promote your amazing platform, and for business coaches and people in need can also reach out to you very soon.
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much for listening. I mean, it means the world that people want to hear what I say, but I mean, what I really encourage is to take the time to think about what you want from your life goals, how you want to live, and then let your finances enable you to do that, not the other way around. Your finances should be your friend. They should be an asset to you, and you shouldn't be scared by them. Like, you are completely in control of them. And if you need help, head over to Otto, email me directly, find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, I'm everywhere. And ask, tell me what the problems that you have, and I'll do my best to like help connect you in the right way. And again, people that are interested in coaching, that know a specialist area of finance, reach out to me. Would love to talk. I think life is all about who you talk to, and really excited to have been here. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really love your project. It's about helping people, the community, for the better, which is amazing, Maddie. And of course, I'm going to publish all your details. So if you want to be in touch with Maddie, bye-bye from Wellness and Wonder. And another episode is coming soon.
Bye. Thank you.
See you soon.